Namaste. In our continued bliss to understand Sri Krishna's names as it comes in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we have been enjoying and experiencing various divine names of Sri Krishna. All along in the last few episodes, we have spent and dwelt in the most important chapter, the chapter 11, where the Vishwarupa Darshanam of Sri Krishna is seen. Sri Krishna blesses Arjuna with a divine vision, Divya Shakshas. Through Arjuna, we were also blessed to see Sri Krishna's Vishwarupa, and the varied emotions of Arjuna that we saw, from a trembling fear to actually coming down and all that, and realizing that Sri Krishna is Sarvaloka Maheshwara, he is omnipresent and omnipotent. And that is what we've enjoyed last few weeks in the Vishwarupa Darshan. Now we move on from 11th chapter to the next namas in the other chapters. As the Namagita progresses, we go chapter by chapter, but there are instances where the names that we saw in an earlier chapter is already come in the future chapters, because it is not, certain names are repeated by Arjuna or sometimes by Sanjaya more than once. So obviously we have addressed all those things in earlier episodes. For example, in chapter 12, there are no names. It is Sri Krishna who is talking completely. There are no names mentioned in chapter 12 at all. In chapter 13 and 14, we have seen those names earlier in the earlier chapters. Avyaya is one of the names that we saw, and Prabhu is another name that we saw in the 14th chapter. So these we have already seen. So we will move on to chapter 15. In this episode, we are going to look at sloka 15 of chapter 15. 15th chapter, 15th sloka.
Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha matta smritil jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedyaha vedantakrit veda videva chaham. In
this chapter 15, 15th sloka, we are going to talk of three divine names, which is going to talk about most important things, the Vedas. Why Vedas are important? Because Vedas are the root of Sanatana Dharma, and Vedas are very important to know. It is Apaurishayam, which means not authored by a human. So Vedas doesn't have a time, doesn't have a bias of a person. It has nothing, because it has been there for times immemorial. How do we know that? Because it is established that the Vedas are nothing but the divine breath of Sriman Narayana himself. That means Sriman Narayana is there times immemorial. From that time Vedas are there. So then, is there anybody who knows the Vedas fully? Because Vedas is one which is, in terms of knowledge, in terms of what it has got no boundaries. It has got so much of information, it is difficult to find one human to say that person knows Vedas fully. But there is one person who knows Vedas completely, who is Sri Krishna himself. So that is what we are trying to say. So one Vedavid, one who knows the Vedas, that is one of the names that we are going to talk about. Only person who knows the Vedas fully is Vedavid, and Vedavedya. That the next name is Vedavedya. What it does mean is, what does the Veda address? It talks about the most important person, who is Sriman Narayana or Sri Krishna in this incarnation. So Vedavedya means one who is spoken about in the Vedas is Sri Krishna himself. So two names, Vedavid, Vedavedya. Then the essence of Vedas are given in the Upanishads, in the form of Upanishads or Vedanta. So for us to understand the most important aspect and realization of Sri Krishna is everything, and the act of surrender that we need to do is all defined in the Upanishad. Who gave the Upanishad? Sri Krishna himself. So Vedanta Krit. So three names were addressed in this sloka, and by Krishna himself is reciting. I am Vedavid, I know the Vedas fully, and I am Vedavedyan, the Vedas talk only about me, and Vedanta Krit, because I am the one who is giving you the Vedanta, so that you understand Vedanta or Upanishad, to understand the essence of the Vedas and do the most important things that you need to perform. So these are the divine names that we are talking. Now why the Vedas are so important, we all know, and Vedas has got a very interesting name in Sanskrit called Shabdam. That means, common parlance, Shabdam we can say is sound or noise. Now just as today's, the last modern world, if you have to say 100 years or so now, we've got so many magnetic fields around us which converts itself into a radio wave or a television wave or now in the internet, they are all magnetic waves and they are floating around us. And we need certain devices to capture them. In a particular meter you capture them, say for example an FM radio, we capture them and then listen to the music or news or whatever it is. Just like that, the Vedas are floating all around us. And it is the meter that we need to go in terms of our tapas, and various rishis perform tapas and focus attention to capture this noise. Capture the sabda that is going on, which is nothing but Vedas. And then once they get that revelation, they share it with others. So the very important fact we need to understand is Vedas is all pervading. It is there because it is the breath of the God. So God is omnipresent, Vedas are also omnipresent. And there's like magnetic waves. All I need to do is to believe in that and perform a tapas to observe what is there for me. And then what gets revealed, I just share it with others. We all know Gayatri Mantra was taught by sage Vishwamitra. That means, did Vishwamitra write the Gayatri Mantra? May not be, because when Gayatri Mantra is around there, it was revealed based on his connection with the Vedas through his meters, and then he revealed it. Similarly, there are many rishis. We are a civilization worth several million years, and all those things, very many rishis have performed this tapas, and their revelation they were shared with them. So all these mantras that the rishis find out, they don't create, it is revealed because of their tapas which they connect and get it. While we are talking of rishis and everybody, we have to mention sage Bharadwaja, one of the esteemed sages. If you read about Bharadwaja Muni, it is amazing in terms of the life history and Puranas and all that. He was the father of Dronacharya, and he had amazing tapobalam, a lot of tapas and all that, and he decides to learn the Vedas and perform tapas to it. So he keeps learning the Vedas, understanding, does everything, and he feels, I have not done much, I need another lifetime. So because of his tapo bhalam, he could get Indra and say, what do you want? Indra says, give me another, he asks, Bharadwaja Muni asks Indra, can you give me another lifetime? He said, go ahead, take it. Then he again spends another lifetime to learning the Vedas. Still he feels he is not up to the mark. Again he looks up to Indra and says, I need another lifetime. So third full lifetime he learns, he gets it, he learns Vedas, he dwells into it, spends all his energies on it, and now if things is still not done, then again requests Indra. Indra says, okay, Muni, you have done so much here, can I show you something? And then he shows 3 mountains next to him and a handful of 3 handfuls of what do you call something from the mountain, sand you can say, and says, Muni is thinking that he has learned all this to the effect of 3 each lifetime that he has learned. Indra laughingly says, no, that is what you have to learn is remaining, what you have learned is only a handful. So in Tamil there is a common parlance, it says, what I learned is handful, what I have not learned is the whole of earth. So that's like that equivalent. That is how probably that term should have come, because Indra clearly establishes 3 lifetimes of a Muni like Bharadwaja, who is focused, who has the tapobalam, can only learn so much. Then how can one human learn everything? It is Sri Krishna only, because it is his divine breath and he is the Vedavid. That is very important to know, and that Shabda that we need to know, that you and I, if we have to learn the Vedas, first is to understand that it is huge, it has got so much in it, and have a focused attention under an Acharya to try and learn some parts of it. And that is where Upanishads plays a role, bigger role, where it tries to help you on focus on what you need to learn. Because here in Vedas, you have everything. You have science, you have medicine, you have healthcare, you have a lot of spiritual things, yaga, yajna, and everything, how to perform, whom to perform, every detail is there. So assuming I want to perform Agnihotra for Ashwamedha, I can do that. Assuming I have to pray to Agni for something else, for specific power, I can do. I want to do Varna Japa to have rains in a place where it is barren, I can get it. But what Bhagavad Ramanuja says is, if you try to do like this, go one behind the other, it's going to take many, many more lifetimes. You may not even enjoy the essence of the Veda, what it says. Instead, you just worship Sri Krishna. He is everything because he is Antaryami of everybody, which we saw earlier, and he is the Vedavid and he is the Vedavedya, because one who is spoken about in the Vedas is Sri Krishna himself. So Bhagavad Ramanuja says, why go all around all those places? Just worship Sri Krishna, surrender unto him, you will get everything. Because Sri Krishna himself says in the 6th chapter, you do any yaga, yajna, irrespective of the devata you perform this yaga, yajna, I am the one who is enjoying the benefits and I am the one who is going to bless the performer of it. Sri Krishna himself has said that. So what we have to realize is, as Vedavid, Sri Krishna is the ultimate source of knowledge of Vedas, and he is a Vedavedyan because he is the one who is spoken about in the Vedas, and he is the one, Sri Krishna is the one who has given us the Upanishad so that we can focus on the essence and the essentials of the Vedas, which is worshipping Sri Krishna with full faith, understanding that he is the Sarvaloka Maheshwara, and performing the surrender and be at his service all the time. So let us worship to Sri Krishna and be blessed. Namaste.
Madhava Achyuta Krishna Hare Rishikesha Kesava Govinda Vasudeva Bhagavan Janardana